Hello, and welcome back to Legacy of Leaders, where we interview the most interesting leaders in the community. Today is no different. I'm your host, Whitney Mincey, and I am joined by my special guest, Mr. John Adams, an author, and you can find his book on thehousehackingbook.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
I appreciate you having me.
Well, first of all, I would love to hear a little bit about your background that led you to writing this book.
Well, you know, a lot of people talk about success, especially with real estate and trying to sell you a course or a program. But that's not what I was trying to do. What I wanted to do was tell people a lot about my successes and my mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And early on in getting into real estate investment, to take some of that fear away and to arm people with some great information that would help them in their journey.
Yeah.
An easy, practical guide that they could use to get into house hacking.
And so luckily you are someone that has a lot of experience in the industry, unlike many people that are giving tips and hacks online and maybe not as experienced. So tell me a little bit about your background.
So I'm 20 years in the mortgage business. So
Wow.
I've been everything from had my real estate license to a mortgage assistant all the way to an area VP.
Wow.
For a bank. So I've kind of rung the ladder of everything on the finance side, and I've seen a lot in real estate. In that same time period, I've managed to own properties, managed to own some bad properties, make some bad decisions,
Yeah.
had some financial disarray, went through the housing collapse. A lot of people remember that.
Yeah.
And then I talked about my story, how I got out of that, how I went through bankruptcy, how I bought my very first property, and then you know what I would have done differently. And then we talked about a lot of different clients that we've helped, some of their stories.
Yeah.
We put that in there to help everybody kind of understand from each angle, you know, every walk of life, homeownership's possible.
Yeah.
Building wealth with real estate's possible, and there's a structured way you can do it safe. You don't have to go fast. You don't have to 10x everything.
Right.
And you don't have to listen to all the mumbo jumbo or pay $1,000 for a course. If you got a Prime account, this is fairly inexpensive.
Yeah, yeah. So for someone that's interested in purchasing this book or, you know, just diving into the tips that you're sharing, what's the number one reason that you would recommend that this book needs to be in houses everywhere?
Two big reasons why you should think about buying thehousehackingbook.com.
Yeah.
So if you were to buy this book, it's going to set you up with an easy, practical guide to understand the very basics of fundamentals of buying a home. Do you need a down payment? What does your credit history need to look like? What kind of exotic loan products are out there? What you should be wary of?
Yeah.
All right. What your team should consist of
Okay.
when you're going to buy a home. Before you even start looking, most people look. They don't do the financing first. Before that, you should assemble your team.
Yeah.
So we go through how to do that. We give you a check reference list and all kind of other things that you can do to help that. The second best reason why you should buy the book is that it supports a really great cause. So all the profits of which that we make off of the House Hacking book, we send to Canines for Warriors, which here locally is a big charity, but it is across the United States, providing service animals for PTSD vets.
That's
assisting
incredible.
them with their life.
Yeah, that is really incredible. And so for those that are interested in the idea of creating a team, I know you talk about it in the book, but I'm just intrigued by that because I haven't heard about that. Who is on this team?
Oh, so there's a list of professionals that you need to trust when you're about to buy a home. Assuming that you're not, you know, a professional yourself, even as one myself, I have that same team. I need realtors. I need my legal team. I need to know if I'm going to put this in a trust or a corporation, so I need lawyers. I need a CPA. I need somebody financially who's going to tell me the impacts of selling or buying. I need financial planners. I also need somebody to do insurance for me. I need to make sure I'm protected.
Yeah.
I also need to know inspectors and general contractors. Now, a lot of your realtors are going to help you with that, but you really need to assemble that team prior to getting the house. Otherwise, you're just picking people at random, essentially.
Right. Well, thank you so much for being here. You're leaving this one for me, right? Because
Absolutely.
I'm excited to read it. Okay, great. So I get to take this one home, and I'm going to start reading it tonight. I'm excited. Thank you so much for being here, John. And if you want to learn more about the House Hacking book, you can go to thehousehackingbook.com. You can also go to iwantabuzz.com to learn more about John. And we will see you next time on Legacy of Leaders.